Oh, I didn't see you guys there. I was actually just editing my WWDC 2023 video, making a couple shorts out of it. But if you haven't seen that video already, link in the description below. Apple announced a 15-inch MacBook Air. Finally, we have a larger display to Apple's most powerful, thinnest laptop that they offer. And I was so excited about this 15-inch MacBook Air because it's a big screen on something that you can carry around everywhere. I ordered one for myself and I think it's waiting for us outside. So let's go and get it, break into it and see what it's all about. Okay, I actually messed up. I messed up pretty badly. The 15-inch MacBook Pro is here, that's all good, but the fan was on and that messed up the satisfying ASMR noise of unboxing this thing. So for all the people that love that noise, here it is. That was a fail. Okay, that satisfying pull. Considering that, you know, it's not been spec'd up.
The fan.
So yeah, unfortunately that happened, but anyways, let's just crack this thing open. So that pull tab is gone, but this is it. This is the 15-inch MacBook Air in Midnight. Now, what's interesting about this laptop here is it's actually the base model, which means it's only got 256 gigabytes of storage, 8 gigs of unified memory, and the M2 chip in this is an 8-core CPU and a 10-core GPU. So it's going to be interesting testing this out and comparing it to my 16-inch MacBook Pro, which has completely different specs and is definitely much more powerful. But yeah, I'm still really annoyed about this pull tab. Anyways, here is the laptop inside. So it comes in this paper packaging, so we will get a little bit of ASMR here. And okay, this feels light. Like, I'm talking light, and this is from a MacBook Pro user. So here goes ASMR round 2. Yeah, this thing is super thin, and honestly in the light I think it looks really, really clean. I wish they made Midnight in the MacBook Pro, but this thing is clean. Right, there it is. So other than the actual laptop, in the box we also do get a couple other things that include a MagSafe cable in Midnight, a 35 watt dual USB Type-C power adapter, which you can actually interchange for 70 watts, but they only had this one available for next day delivery, so I had to get this one. And of course, the power plug itself. So this is going to give you fast charging, and you can charge 2 devices at the same time, which is really nice. And my favorite thing has to be this Midnight power cable, which I wish they would release in the MacBook Pro. I think they have actually, but my M1 didn't get that. So Apple, we need to sort some stuff out here. Right, so I've got 15 inches of glory sitting right here, and when I say Anyways, when I say I envy MacBook Air users, I genuinely mean that. I mean, look how razor thin this laptop is. It's so beautiful. The Midnight finish. If this came in the MacBook Pro, I would be the first person in line to buy Midnight. It's so beautiful. I don't care how many greasy, dirty, curry fingerprints I get on this. I am buying Midnight. It's the best color. It's so thin. I mean, I can't even express that. And 15 inches in a MacBook Air is what we all wanted. Now, I'm going to spend a couple days editing on here, really using it and switching entirely from my MacBook Pro. So I'll come back to you guys in a couple days with my experience of this laptop, and we'll make a judgment as to who should buy this and whether you should even consider buying this instead of something like the 14-inch MacBook Pro. See you guys in a minute. Okay, it's been a couple days with the 15-inch M2 MacBook Air. We're currently sitting outside, so hopefully the audio's good. Got my Starbucks with me with the Mac, so that cliche going on. I will say, don't buy the Starbucks, but in terms of the Mac, this is definitely something worth considering. Over the last couple of days, I've edited the first portion of this video on Final Cut Pro. I found it to be very smooth, no judder whatsoever, a little bit of lag when scrubbing through the timeline, but that's only because of the 8 gigs of unified memory. Other than that, this thing is very, very clean. Now, the display, unfortunately, it only goes up to 500 nits of brightness, and while indoors that's pretty good, outdoors you can probably see that you really just can't see it that well in direct sunlight. Now, that's probably because it is a liquid retina display and not that XDR display we got on the MacBook Pro, and there definitely is a substantial difference between the two, whether it's the deep blacks or even the vividness of the actual panel. But other than that, it's still enjoyable to use. This thing is so thin that it's so much fun to just put in my bag right here and carry it around in an outdoor park, in a coffee shop, anywhere you want. You can literally just take this and go. So that's why I really, really like it. On the left, you have 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, not Thunderbolt 4, which is good, but I would like them to have 2 more ports over here on the right, because when you plug it into a monitor, you're forced to do it from the left, and with different desk setups, it's not the most optimal thing to do. We of course have MagSafe as well, and on the other side you have a headphone jack. So overall, you're getting a great package in this machine, a great display, a really clean keyboard, and this midnight color is probably the best color you can get on a MacBook. It does get really fingerprinty though. As you can see, I've got like all this grime and all my curry hands all over it, but it is still really, really sleek and really minimal. Now, for the overall judgment as to whether you need to buy this or not, we got to go inside for that. Okay, we're finally back from outside. It's boiling here, so I'm probably sweating, but I guess the question is, should you buy the M2 MacBook Air? Now, I actually think this is probably one of the best products we've gotten from Apple in a really long time. Not only because you're getting a lot of value for the price, but because it's just so beautiful in general. And that kind of takes me on to why the MacBook Pro now, I think is just not worth it. So, with Macs, I always say you should upgrade the internals. This comes with 8 gigs of unified memory and 256 gigabytes of storage as the base level, and that's at $1,300. That's how much you're paying for the 15-inch MacBook Air. But if you upgrade it from 256 to say 512 gigs of SSD storage and from 8 to 16 gigs of unified memory, it takes you to about $1,700, which, believe it or not, is $300 cheaper than buying the base 14-inch MacBook Pro. That $300 is quite a bit of money and could be spent on even a monitor and give you an entire desk setup to work with and actually increase your productivity than just buying a slightly better computer. And that 14-inch MacBook Pro is only really giving you a mini LED display, 120Hz refresh rate, and a slightly thicker body for better cooling, which, while it does give you a couple extra ports, a lot of people won't even use. So for me personally, even though I do use the MacBook Pro because I need that extra power for editing all the time, the MacBook Air is such a fantastic device for most people, especially the college and university students out there. Not only will you not notice those differences in the display, but a computer that's so portable and light means you can carry it around everywhere, surf the web, do all the main kinds of things that you do on a computer very quickly, but at a much cheaper price. So this MacBook Air is so worth it, and for people that always wanted that thin Apple laptop with a really big screen, finally we have one, and you don't have to spend crazy amounts of money on this 16-inch MacBook Pro. But for all those content creators out there or people who feel that they need that extra thickness for better cooling and those extra ports, and really want to see the difference between buying a 15-inch MacBook Air like this and upgrading to a 16-inch MacBook Pro, make sure to drop a like down below because I'll make a video comparing the 2 biggest laptops you can now get from Apple. Also, make sure to click this video right here of WWDC 2023 and why I believe that that event shows these Macs might actually be completely obsolete and the future of computing is here. So I guess I'll see you guys in that video. Make sure to subscribe down below and take care. Goodbye.